Hey y'all, welcome to my channel where we're going to learn tips and tricks on gardening and so much more. So today we're going to finish putting the wood chips in the rest of the garden. Now wood chips are a great way to keep out weeds. They also break down into the soil, so after this year they'll break down, and then next year they will pretty much feed the soil to help with the garden for next year. So I've done about half the garden and we're going to finish the other half. Now this is the half that I've finished, and this is the half that needs to be finished. So come along with me and I'll show you how I do it. It's pretty easy, pretty quick. Let's get it done. Alright guys, this is the wood chip or wood flake bags that I use for my garden and in the chicken pen. I've used a little over half for half the garden, so I'll have plenty left over that I can clean out the chicken pen as well. I also have these little trundles that work perfectly for the garden. I'll show you how I do it. Alright guys, I've filled up my trundle. It's about maybe 6 handfuls. About half full, and I'll show you how I put it on the garden. Easy peasy. I'd put some down about a week ago, and obviously it just wasn't thick enough, so I'm putting more down in order to help prevent more grass or weeds from growing. So I simply roll it over, and then I spread it out. So I wanted to show you in layers how I go about putting the mulch. Well, not technically mulch, the wood chips or the wood flakes. I do not recommend mulch. I definitely recommend the wood chips. So it starts like this in between my rows. Lots of weeds, lots of grass, as you can see. I then use, from my burn pile, I use the soil and I cover up the weeds and the grass, and then I put a layer, and as you can see that was not thick enough, so then I've added more, and that is what it looks like. Now if you come over here, I did this a few days ago, you can already see little grass and little weeds poking through, so it's definitely not 100% effective. However, it's a lot better than it was, as you can tell. And it makes it much more manageable to go and weed than to have to worry about this every week. Because this would be a headache, especially when it starts getting hotter. Nobody wants to mess with this. But once again, when I have come out to the garden and I have just like a couple here and there, a couple here and there, very much easier to manage, and sometimes I just don't even worry about it as long as they're not in the actual garden. Now I have noticed a few more weeds in the garden, so I'll come out here tomorrow and I'll weed those. But other than that, the wood flakes and wood chips help tremendously. I highly, highly recommend it. Thank y'all for watching my channel and my video, and God bless.